Divan was startled at the sight of a giant speaking to his villagers, but it leaves with a herd of goats before he can reach the village. The villagers tell him that the giant demanded the goats, and when a young boy protested, the giant simply crushed him. Troubled, Divan visits Platos to ensure that the god is happy and to inform him of the victory in Romulus. Divan then spends some days recovering from his injuries, during which he visits Atropos. Upon reaching her cave, he finds her in consultation with a young woman. Divan waits politely for them to finish, but listens in. When the woman leaves, Divan tells her of Necrot, which clarifies some of Atropos' message. When he is finally alone with Atropos, Divan regales her of his adventures and allows her to use his crown before asking advice for his giant problem. She instructs him to collect some troll blood. However, his rest period is interrupted by the giant's return. Divan meets the giant, and thanks to his magic, he manages to drive her away, injuring one of her eyes in the process. The victory came at a cost, though, as Divan was once more gravely injured, so his recovery takes more time. In the following days, Divan is rewarded by the village with a hut to call his own. Divan starts preparations to turn his simple hut into a mighty tower. He also uses the circlet to learn more of the nature of Platos, and discovers the greater the body of water Platos is attached to, the mightier serpent he will become. After his rest, Divan goes troll hunting, and so he travels to the troll bog and sets up camp in a ruined village. However, his rest is interrupted by a spirit which wounds him, and as his own weapons are ineffective, he flees, but fortunately the ghost does not follow. The next day he returns, gathering his equipment before he travels to Atropos' cave, seeking her aid and guidance. How will Divan harvest the troll blood? Will Atropos help with exorcising ghosts? Where would one even buy ghost leashes? Let's find out now on Dicing with Death.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dicing with Death. How are you doing today, Ryan?
Hello, I am doing well. How are you?
I am also doing well. Trying to quote hilarious people in chat.
The Ultra Spear memes.
The Ultra Spear memes, yeah.
They never get old.
I used to be salty about them, and I've slowly come to a place where I'm sort of accepting and tickled by them. I hope in a few more years' time to actually join in and be making them, but it's a process.
After you've nerfed spear damage.
I think spear damage is fine. I think 2d4 is great for the primary weapon of war. I think it's perfect. Stand by my decisions.
I feel like you just need to, I don't know, we'll talk Ultra Spears another time.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway, here we are. We have just heard our lovely recap with the giant and the trolls and the swamps and the ghosts.
On a leash.
On a leash. Yep.
And we had an excessively long pre-show, so maybe we should just jump right into game rather than talking about current events, because there's definitely no current events of interest.
Nope.
Everything is fine.
Yep.
It's fine.
It's fine, guys. It's fine. So here we are. I believe we left off with you in Atropos' cave.
Yes, indeed. I think I force marched to get here, so I collapsed exhausted.
Yeah, I recall this.
To Atropos' comforting embrace.
The last part of that I will back.
Yeah. Rumor has it that Matt is working on some Atropos fan art. I've yet to see it. Well, I saw his token sketch. Wasn't the name of the stream yesterday was Atropos something or other.
Imagining Atropos.
But instead it was just a bunch of flaming baboons that I didn't understand, but I'm guessing it was some
Empires of Arcadia.
Yeah. Did they set the baboons on fire, or did
No, they are
the
fire
baboons
monkeys.
come with their own fire?
Yeah, they can selectively light parts of themselves on fire, including the poo that they fling. So they throw flaming poo at you, and then they'll they can burn people who try and attack them in melee.
How do your players feel about you inventing all these horrifying monstrosities? Do they complain that they're not in the book, or do they roll with it?
They roll with it.
Yeah.
And then they're simultaneously wildly overconfident and at the same time, absolutely terrified of what it could be. They're like, we're going to fucking kill it, but it might destroy us. We got to be really careful. We're going to just destroy it. And at this point, they've reached the levels where they can just destroy everything because they are broken.
That's 5e for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So where should we pick up? Following morning?
Yes. The morning after. And Devon's walk of shame home.
Excuse me?
I stand by my comments.
All right. Are we not going to get a description of the wake up? Shall we just flip right to walking home?
Oh, yes, we can get a lovely description of the wake up. You arise, and your head has somehow found its way into Atropos's lap over the course of the night. She's got one hand curled up through your hair, and the other is passed out on this sort of skull that's just sitting nearby her, as if it's resting on the top of it, as if it's holding. So kind of doing the same thing to you and to this skull, but the skull, of course, doesn't have any hair on it. So she's just passed out, leaning against the wall. Sort of sitting up with hands on both of your heads.
And you sit up with the start. Is this a human skull?
It is a human skull, yeah. She's had bones around here before, and this is one of those things that she sometimes uses to, interpret things. When she's huffing the vapors, sometimes the skull comes out and chatters for her and helps her interpret the things that she says. Or she's just fucking batshit insane and crazy. But she seems to be speaking the truth about certain things, and she certainly has told correct prophecies in the past, so there's got to be something to her mumbo-jumbo.
Whose skull could that be? I gather my things. Do I regain MP after a force march?
It would be a day of activity, but it would be a night of rest, so it'd be 1 willpower. 1d willpower. Yeah.
Atropos's lap is considered restful sleep.
Yes.
Or activity with good sleep. Yeah.
Yes.
What are you gasping at?
We've got Witch Mountain. It's finally made its way to tabletop audio, or to Roll20.
Beautiful.
Oh, sounds a little too happy for Atropos's cave, to be honest. Too exciting.
It's fine, we're about to leave.
Yeah, this is much more like I'm about to fight Atropos. She's a fairly defenseless old woman.
Oh, it just went into minor or something.
Oh.
Not that kind of minor. Like a minor key.
I know what you meant. Yeah.
Anyway.
That's pretty. The big horns is a little intense right now for morning music.
Fine. I thought you'd been up for hours.
I meant Devon's morning music.
Right. Well, I gather my things. Does Atropos wake up?
She does, as you finish gathering your stuff and putting it together and reclosing your robes. She will
my robes. It's not a bathrobe. It's a wizard. It's just you pull it on over your head.
It's more of
it's a robe, right? Isn't that how robes work?
No, some robes tie clothes with belts.
I feel like if that's your only clothing garment, that's a little risky. It's like flashing robes.
Well, I don't know. People wore togas, and that's just a long thing wrapped around you that could fall open in the night. I guess you have...
This probably is similar to a toga, right?
Yeah.
But it's like clasped closed. All right. Well. If Ashpos has nothing to say, I will head back to town.
She'll mix a little bit of water with some grains and mash it up with a spoon as she watches you, dust yourself off and get ready for the day and strap on your sandals.
She said she was going to make everything all right or better or something. Did she tend to my ghostly wounds? Soothe my ravaged soul?
You have not regained any hit points.
All right.
But there is something comforting about the familiar feel of this matronly figure who has helped shape you into the person you are and understands the concept of ghosts and monsters and isn't afraid of them like the rest of the people in your life. She's probably the only person who actually understands who you are and what you're going through. And everyone else is sort of like, oh, look at Devon. Well, that was great, Devon. Here's some goats. She might be the only person to understand you, even if she is straight a weirdo of her own. Right. Are you ready to head on out?
Yeah, I was just looking at legend lore. But yeah, I'm ready to head out. I need to heal back 10 HP, and Ashpos seems unable to help with that. So I guess she said get me some troll blood, and maybe she'd be able to help. But
As you step away and prepare yourself for the climb down, she sort of mutters something and then snaps up and looks at you and goes, "Do not forget the chickens."
The chickens? You saw them in your vision. I don't understand.
She seems exhausted by the remark. Kind of looks at you for a little bit, shakes her head as if to clear the bad thoughts away, and says...
Can I ESP her thoughts to see if that sheds any light on her intended meaning?
Yes.
Like if she knows more than she's able to convey with words, or perhaps like her thoughts, thought-to-thought communication is more comprehensible than...
You get her surface thoughts, which come in the form of strong emotions. There is a fear attached to the concept of a white chicken. And there's like this desire for a charm or a token or like a ward to ward off the chicken. It's sort of these unclear emotions that are seeming to drive her. I think other people you've ESP'd on usually have concepts or thoughts more in a word format, but she seems to be thinking to feel things and then translate it into text for you or into words for you. When you read her mind, you just read the core feelings that drive her.
All right. Is her image of a chicken a literal chicken, or is it like a monster chicken or a cockatrice or something?
It's like the concept of a chicken, so it could be any of those. We got like little feet, wings, kind of a shitty flyer, feathers, beak, like evil red eyes. So It's sort of a vague notion. It could easily be any of those three. It seems unrefined.
Okay, Atropos.
Yeah. Weird ass, creepy mountain witch.
Yeah.
And you exit her cave as she mashes her water and grains together for a meager meal, and you can head back to Necrot.
Yeah. Probably getting a little bit of a late start. I don't know if I had to sleep in given the power walk yesterday. But...
Yeah. Well, it's a half day home, and you can arrive back in your village, which is fully intact and functional. Your man Akitos has started to work on
what?
On the Quanot cave.
Okay, so he built me a little house.
Yes.
Next to Platos' shrine.
Yes.
And is he now building a Quanot?
Yes.
To increase the water flow or something like that, or direct it?
Yep. There's a small little setup over here where some lumber has been hauled and is being reshaped into the formats that he's going to need. And there's some buckets and a couple of younger children who are old enough to help like haul and do unskilled manual labor that are like hauling away dirt as he is slowly, carefully removing it from here and sort of measuring something and like trying to brace this with that. And he's going to be making a horizontal shaft into this sort of soft and wet earth. And it'll be a process, but they're working on it.
Great construction site. Perfect environment for a wizard to rest and study in.
Mm-hmm. Right next to your house. Yep. You can hear the thwack, thwack, thwack of the axe.
Mm-hmm.
The muttered groans of a man shoveling something, and then it collapses, and the long string of curses about this motherfucking piece of crap hillside. Just kids, get over here! Don't do it that way. Construction sites are lovely. So, what are you going to do?
Rest and recover HP, I think. I need to track down a priest to get some blessed leather.
You had hopes to find a priest elsewhere, right?
Well, there's none here.
Mm-hmm.
So. Okay.
Well,
but
I guess
I'm
we rest
down
for a while.
10 HP.
So that's we can change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll go see the village elder at some point.
Okay. Brown, these are coming.
Mm-hmm.
Greets you.
Elder?
Oh, welcome home, prodigal son.
I seek divine guidance, Elder. I wonder if you know of any priests in the area, holy men and women.
There are some, certainly.
Where? None here in Necrot.
No,
correct?
no. Siphon, a small fishing village, a few days away, near the coast.
Have I heard of Siphon?
Yes, you've been to Siphon. It is
Been
the
to
place.
Sinus.
Ooh, Sinus. Yes, sorry.
Okay. Oh,
Sinus, Siphon. Yeah.
I've been to Sinus.
Ah,
I
well.
done them some favors, though they have a funny way of showing their gratitude. Perhaps I will make a pilgrimage again.
Oh. Was there a problem with the people there?
They get spooked. You know how magic is. What, with rivers of blood and all. Crowds of snakes.
Yes, rivers of blood, snakes. He chuckles, not really understanding.
I will, wrap things up and return to Platos.
Okay. Platos is in his little lair. He's got a couple of mice trapped in his front courtyard, waiting for their doom.
Platos, I say. Enjoying your meal?
Yes.
Good. I seek divine protection. I need a priest's blessing for my magics. Do you can you bless leather? Can you appoint a priest?
He comes on out of his little lair and pokes his head, sniffs the air with his tongue, and said, "Go ahead."
How's Platos looking? Emerging from his
he's got a shiny new coat of scales. He's well fed. He's appreciated by these people instead of by the last people who wanted you to drive him out for turning their well blood. It looks like he's living that good snake life.
Yeah. Is he growing?
No, he's about the same size. He doesn't seem to be significantly larger. Not yet.
Fair enough.
He will taste the air around you and then kind of like reach out with his body as if he wants to curl up on you. Only you were close enough for him to reach.
I've sat myself next to his shrine.
Okay. So then he will come out and
put out
rest
an
on
arm
your
and
shoulder.
let him crawl up it.
Yeah. You seek a blessing?
Blessed leather for divine protection.
Yes. I can bless something for you.
Yes? Well,
Yes.
let's see.
Bring me the skin of a snake. Normal snake.
Snake leather? I say questioningly.
Yes. Snake skin. A large snake. One recently fed.
With the conjure spell components, you can't conjure spell components with a GP value. Is that correct?
I believe... Yeah, it's got to be something pretty cheap.
Naturally occurring. Leather's not naturally occurring, correct?
Yeah, because it's still attached to the
And
cow.
not examples leather. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess let's go snake hunting.
How would you like to find yourself a snake?
Wander around the hills, rolling for encounter checks? No. I'll go and ask the local village kids. So I head back into, or down the stream into Necrot.
Mm-hmm. Well, the kids have time to play.
Kids.
They hurry over. Yeah? Yeah? What is it?
I'm looking for a snake, or some snakes.
I know where's a snake, says one kid.
No, not Platos. A wild snake.
He looks
a regular
defeated.
Snake. Not a water spirit. Just a regular old snake. Do you ever catch snakes in the hills?
Yeah. This is one of the little girls.
Do you know where to find them? Or
Yeah.
how to catch them?
Mm-hmm. You gotta be careful, though. Approach him from behind. Grab him by the neck.
Yep. Where do you usually see them?
Oh, in nooks and crannies between rocks.
Can you show me?
Yeah. And she will lead you as she kind of wanders around the hillside, picking up rocks and looking between them and, lifting this up, crawling into this crawly space.
I wander around the hills as well. I guess as a shepherd, I spend most of my time trying to avoid snakes, but I'm sure that I've seen them from time to time. Had to shoo them away from the goats. Mm-hmm. I do have an animal handling skill. I do not have an animal finding skill. Yeah. So, Devon and the children bushwhack around Necrot looking for snakes.
Yep. These fairly young kids will run around with you, looking for snakes and eventually finding one.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a red and gold snake that is curled up between a couple of rocks, kind of escaping the worst of the midday heat from it.
All right. Stand back, kids.
Stand back.
And I approach the snake from behind. Is this one poisonous? Do I know?
You have animal handling. You have folklore?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely not a poisonous snake.
Okay. Right. Red touch yellow, kill a fellow. Red touch black, venom whack.
Oh, I think I got my snake coloring mixed up then. I was trying to describe a king snake, but they are red and white, not red and yellow.
This is a fantasy land.
Yes.
All right. My approach with my staff.
So disappointed in my level of snake lore, Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have paid more attention.
That rhyme is just distinguishing king snake from coral snake. Might only be California applicable. Arcane spray time.
You need the leather intact, right?
Yeah. So I'll use my animal handling and the crook of a staff to pin it behind the back of the head if I can. If I can sneak up on it.
Yeah.
Snatch it.
It is in a crevice between some rocks, and it is sort of aware of you, but if you can make me either successful animal handling check or attack roll with advantage on both of them, because he's sort of curled up and not a lot of place to go.
Oh, good thing I got advantage. So I stick my staff in there, and I think he dodges it. But fleeing the staff, he goes out into the open, and I dive on him and snatch him behind the head.
You've got yourself a
second time's a charm.
Was this like a 3.5 foot snake? Sort of scrawny.
Yeah. I grab him and I look at him. Do I realize that there are indeed venom sacs, or is it not?
No, this looks like a common non-venomous snake that lives in these hills.
Okay. How much leather am I going to get from a snake? Probably enough, right?
Probably.
I walk back towards Platos' shrine.
Apparently all the Greek snakes are just brown, except for the gray ones.
All the Greek snakes?
Yeah, all the Greek snakes are super fucking boring looking.
Interesting.
Yeah. Sorry to distract, but I'm just looking at Greek snakes. Actually, this Caspian whip snake is pretty cool looking.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. Oh, a lovely little guy. Anyway, yes, you bring a snake, and you can bring it all the way to Platos.
So I show up at Platos' shrine with a live snake. Platos? And I poke my head in his shrine.
Yes.
I brought you a priest, a devotee, and I wave the snake at him, wriggling.
The snake has wrapped itself around you in an attempt to suppress you, scare you, do something. It's definitely not working.
Mm-hmm.
And Platos will taste the air around it. They kill it. Kill it.
Does it need to be intact? Probably. How do you kill a snake without butchering it? I think I just tense up my grip and crush its strangle it basically.
Yep.
Constrict the constrictor.
You can slay the snake. Constrict the constrictor.
Mm-hmm.
Then
yeah, right. I can just wrestle it to death.
Yeah, it's a small snake. I don't think there's any rolls needed to try and kill it.
Yeah.
It dies in your hands.
Shall I? Does it need to be flayed and cured? I sit down.
Oh, give it to me. Give it to me.
I set it in his courtyard. Is the courtyard inside? Is it like the ground floor? Is like a...
Yeah.
Does he have a...
Yeah, there's like a little wall with a half... Like the wall goes halfway up of the actual structure, and then you can put things in there, and they can run around and not escape, or run around deeper in.
All right. I set the constricted constrictor in Platos' courtyard.
Platos will unhinge his jaw and begin to swallow the snake from the head down. It's a slow process.
I watch slowly with morbid curiosity. Wow. This is how you treat your followers. I'm not sure how many more priests you're going to get.
He is too full of snake to respond to you. It takes maybe, 20 or 30 minutes for him to swallow the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just gets really lazy and tired and begins to slowly wind his way into the recesses of his domicile. And hisses at you to come back in a few days when it's ready.
All right then.
The children have come to watch with a combination of horror and intrigue. Let's see. There are a couple of kids here. Which... Of the assembled children, the one little girl who found the king snake seems to be the most interested. She's of the kids, she's the one who's better at catching these things and better at finding them, and she's completely transfixed by this snake-eating snake, this weird Caduceus type thing going on.
Yes.
Is a Caduceus a snake eating a snake?
Ouroboros is the snake eating its own tail.
Oh, no, Caduceus is the medical symbol of the two snakes around the thingy. That's what I'm getting mixed up. What was the other one called? A Boreas?
Ouroboros. O-R-O. It's like the Norse snake eating its own tail.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
How many kids are gathered around?
There are 3, 2 girls and a boy. One of the the first girl that spoke, actually the only girl that spoke, is the one who is most interested. The other unspoken girl and the boy are kind of grossed out by this, and also a little scared because he is a talking snake, and they're a little more fearful of him, so they back off.
Do you like snakes? I say to the girl.
I like lizards more, but snakes are okay. The talking one's kind of fun. How'd you make him talk?
Came that way. He's a god, you know.
He is?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a funny-looking god.
What's the ground here made out of?
Loose red earth.
All right.
Loose iron-rich earth.
Yeah. I pick up a fistful of the earth. I say.
Mm-hmm.
You like lizards, you say?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I sprinkle the loose red earth into my hand, conjuring a simple and unremarkable object, a lizard made of compacted earth. It's crude as my... actually, I'm level 4, so it can now be it's a good lizard.
A good lizard.
It's a good lizard.
Nice.
Made out of the dust that I'm using. So in this case, just the compacted iron-rich earth.
She marvels over the simple
Fragile,
spell.
doesn't have moving parts, no patterns or complex construction.
She seems interested and fascinated by the lizard that you have created for her, and will delicately hold it in both hands for a few moments before looking up at you with eyes wide and mouth agape. How did you? How?
Magic.
Did Platos teach you this? Or Atropos teach you this?
This one, neither. An old friend, I say. Her name is Seltzer. She came from the sea. Was born of sea foam. Crawled upon the beach, not too far from here. A long time ago.
How old are you?
How old do I look?
45.
20, I say.
Wow, that's so old.
All right. I think eventually this snake will crumble as soon. Well, let's see, 12 minutes or when I stop concentrating on it, right?
Yeah, and I think you can concentrate sort of in
with line of sight.
Yeah.
So we wait and watch. Does it seem like Platos is not coming back?
Oh yeah, he's curled up in the back of his cave, and you maybe chat with the kids for a little bit. And
we've got to wait for him to shit out the blessed leather.
Yes, which will take a few days.
Or does he shed his skin and his skin is blessed leather?
We'll find out.
Yeah. Okay. Did I already use my legend lore on the haunted village? I think I did, right? Yeah, while I was sleeping in it, I had a vision. Yeah.
Yes, and that it's during your legend lore that the ghosts of the villagers attacked you?
Yeah.
Was it because you used the legend lore, or was it just like gratuitous timing?
I don't know.
Good answer. Answer not enough people use these days.
I don't know.
Yeah. Everyone thinks they know everything. Everyone's got an opinion. I certainly do. Right. Well, time to kick it for a few days.
Yeah.
So the days roll by.
I guess might as well roll some spell checks.
Learn spells?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. What you got for us?
Oh. Let's see. I wonder if I should bother with detect invisibility for those nasty ghosts. Eventually want minor sealing ward. Might as well just learn all of these second level spells on the list. 2, 3, 4, 5. Got 5 out of 11. I think there's only 9 on here, so I might as well learn them all eventually. So let's go for... Let's do that detect invisibility. See if I can find those ghosts in the daylight.
All right.
No invisibility detection. And 4 days wasted. But I should gain some HP back. That should be 4 HP.
That should be 4 HP.
And 8d13 d4. Does that work?
I mean, it should be 2d13 d1 4 times, but it's fine. I
Is
think
that not the same thing?
No, it's not. But it'll.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay.
If you're gonna be resting for a week, you're gonna get back all your MP. Pretty sure.
Well, 15. Actually, sorry, that's 22. 29. Yeah, and one more 3 days will do it. Oh wait, no, I already had it programmed. So 17, 27 was enough. Yeah, 3 days does it.
Perfect.
All right, so I'm still down a few HP. My MP is restored. Does Platos shed his skin in this time?
Yes, he does. No, he does not shed his skin, but he will shit out some blessed snake leather.
How much? What is it? What form does it take?
It just takes this like weird stringy bit of snake skin that's kind of like damp and squished together and gross. It's the shittiest blessed leather you've ever seen.
Why this process was so cool. Why do you have to make it such a gross result? You really want me to find a priest, don't you?
Just go with what feels right, man. And this is what spoke to me about the process.
There's no way to like dress it up and make it nicer.
You know, I think a priest would do a better job, a more appropriate for humanity taste job. But you've got this like weird water spirit snake creature who's like, "I'll bless you some leather. Hold on." Ugh! There you go, buddy.
Does it smell?
No, it doesn't smell.
But it is wet still?
It's a little damp when he first craps it out, but, you know, give it an hour or two and it'll dry.
Right, how many doses of blessed leather would
this is
be?
1 dose.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I won't have to smell it, and I'll cast it immediately. But
there you go.
how many days later was this?
2 days.
So I will have... Actually, I don't even need to regain. I just earmark 3 MP and recast my armor spell.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I read what you did with spirit armor, and that seems much better. I won't have it until 3rd level.
Right.
Basically, it makes the spirits a separate object that blocks for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it should like stack with other armor spells or whatever, or with armor. Right? There's just a chance that attacking creatures hit a spirit instead of you.
Right. It's a little bit of like sanctuary mixed in with...
Sanctuary?
The priest spell, where like if someone tries
like
to
they have to make a saving
withdraw?
throw.
Yeah, it's either withdraw or sanctuary. I can't remember which one.
Withdraw, just it's sanctuary, where they have to make a saving throw before they attack you.
Yeah. And then I tried to add in some various sub effects with different components.
Yeah.
Which I would, if you have any other additions to add to that, I would be happy to add more, because I think I added like 5 or 6, but it would be cool if there were have any ideas for additional minor effects.
Yeah, that is a nice touch. I like having optional spell components that do different things.
Give you some flexibility in your spell casting.
Yeah. All right, so detect invisibility failed. I eventually want minor sealing ward, but I don't have anything I want to trap now. I just want watchful ward. There's nothing I want now, but I think I eventually want it all. I want it all. So, does Magic Key actually require a key?
I think that's one of the casting components of it.
It says materials a key, but the spell says a magical key is conjured from the air that is an exact replica of the key used for the door. The key vanishes when the caster. Let's see. Right.
Yeah, so you have a key, and you disintegrate the key that you're holding, and you create a new key that is the one that will fit the door.
Okay. Do I have a bag full of keys that Seltzer had left?
I don't think her grotto had keys in it.
Okay.
Let's see. Prison bag of sand, chalk, compass, honey, crystal ball. No keys.
But presumably I could conjure simple object a crude key, right? Well, at 4th level, a good key, or does it need to be fine? Like it just needs to be like a visage of a key, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't. So these are interactions you intended, right? Well, like not.
I didn't specifically
thought of
intend
this,
these,
but like these spells to be like combined.
That seems fine. That you could conjure a key as a component with conjure symbol object, and then use that right away as the magic key. That seems like a good combination.
I
like it.
I really like these interactions. They remind me of sorcerers, some of the meta magics, but in a more roundabout 2E sort of way, where like you can spend a bunch of extra MP to stack spells together to, in this case, like eliminate the need for a material component, kind of.
Yeah.
By taking twice as much MP. Or like the conjure spell component kind of eliminates the need for a material component. If you spend 3 extra MP, you can conjure these natural materials from nearby.
At least for simple spells, which is nice.
Yeah. Well, I'll go ahead and roll for the magic key then.
Okay.
I do succeed.
Lovely.
So I will add magic key to my spell list. I think it doesn't copy over the drop down spell category.
Ooh, is that what's going on?
Yeah, so you just have to manually switch to conjuration. It's all good.
Oh, I think the problem is that it's pulling the full
and another
title
4
of the
days.
school. Pulling like conjuring summoning when it should just be pulling summoning.
Well, it made everything abjuration, which is the first one on the list. I think it's just not it's copying over. It's not. What you call it? It's not like it isn't copying into a drop down menu, right? It's filling all the other forms.
Right. The drop down menu has different values. The drop-down menu has like abjuration or summoning or illusion, but the text is copying conjuration/summoning, which doesn't exactly match a value in the drop-down list. And so it's just defaulting to the top drop-down because the two values aren't exact.
I don't think any of the other ones were copying over their spheres.
No, none of them are going to copy their spheres. Yeah, it's a bug. I can fix it, though. I know how to fix it.
So 4 more days pass. I gain 4 HP plus 1 because it's been more than a week. I am now at 24 out of 25. I'll probably just leave now and incidentally gain 1 more HP as I travel. Does anything happen in the next 4 days while I'm studying the scroll?
The weeks roll by. The full moon arises.
The week rolls by.
Yes. The full moon arises, and today's the day after the full moon. And you get your spell. The village is continuing to go on nice and neatly. Life is dangerous in these hills. Minor things happen that are probably of not too much interest to us, like, some kid breaks a toe. Someone else spots a mountain lion who kills 3 of their goats while they're out doing something. The typical things of this difficult life out here. Someone gives birth to a child.
It's an eventful week.
Yeah. But they don't affect what we're doing here.
Okay. I think let's go tangle with some trolls. So I pack my rucksack with enough fresh fruits, maybe, or bread, jar of olives, enough rations for 4 or 5 days. And I'll head north out of town.
Excellent. North out of town you go. Look at our world map. There he goes.
1, 2.
Come on, roll 20. Freaking out on me. Ever since we did this Fog of War, I don't know if it's this way for you, but it's really laggy for me to move around on the map.
It is not for me, but I think that may be because I can only see just a small portion of the map.
Yeah.
Anything happen in these first days of the journey?
That's X. S something. You will, as you come into this hex, spot a giant, a different giant. They do live in these hills, and it is not near you, but it's so big you can see it from miles and miles away. It is in the direction that you are heading. Spot it. Still in this hex, but in that general vicinity.
I observe the giant from afar, but I do not engage. I don't particularly make an effort to conceal myself, but I also don't approach or attack or anything. I watch cautiously and see where it goes.
It's just kind of walking around for a little while. It's got a bag with some rocks in it. Big loincloth, big giant titties hanging out. And
it's another lady giant.
Yeah. And then, it goes below the horizon into a valley between 2 hills. And that's the last you see of it.
Okay. Well, I will make my camp a very safe distance away. Actually, maybe I'll approach that valley. What time of day did I see the giant?
Probably 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah. You can approach the valley where you saw the giant, and sure enough, it has gone down into here and seems to be gone. Give me a perception check to see if you can find tracks or see the direction it headed or anything else like that.
Spot a cave.
Well, well, well. You've read my mind. Yes, there is a giant's cave between these two hills. There's no surprising you anymore, Ryan.
I don't think there's any reason to pick a fight with a giant. So I will steer well clear of this cave. Note its location, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But go camp at least a mile off.
Yep. You can camp a mile off, and don't think anything happens that night. Other than maybe you are woken by the distant rumble of thunder, which, after an odd snort, turns out to just be giant snoring. That's fine.
Can I gain 1 HP from that day?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you didn't force march. You're hiking through the hills, but that's sort of daily life for you.
Yeah. The way the hill movement works, it's actually pretty, it's pretty leisurely.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think like the math of the movement rate leaves you with 4 extra movement. So, yeah.
I will assume that is time taken up resting and relaxing and not straining yourself because you want to conserve MP or conserve HP and MP. That works perfectly.
Cool beans.
Cool beans indeed. The next day.
Did these how do forest tiles work? Well, these are faster. Let's see.
But you want to...
Yeah, so that'll be 10.
Oh, that tile, I see.
And there's a swamp right there. I guess we'll explore while I'm out here. So I can move double, or I can move extra squares.
Yeah, I think you can do 3 through the flat grounds of the forest.
Right. So that's the path that I take, circling the swamp. And I walk just on the edge of the swamp, scanning the area, looking out for trolls or anything else that might live in the swamp.
The first thing that you will come across is a black bear rubbing its back against a tree out here in the woods.
We'll avoid it, but I can murder your poor innocent forest creatures if you would like to play them aggressively.
No, it's just rubbing its back on a tree, and if you give it space, it watches you for a little bit, but then moves on. What's that? The swamp, you will see... what will you see in a swamp? You'll see some fish, plenty of birds.
Fish?
Yeah.
Swamp fish?
Yum. Swamp fish. Yep. Birds and fish. Maybe the occasional snake slithering through the waters, a water snake of some kind. No sign of a troll at all.
Okay. And I guess I'll make camp here on the edge of the swamp.
You camp underneath an almond tree and take your nap.
Can you eat almonds fresh from the tree?
I don't see why not. Almonds don't have to be
in
cooked,
season,
right?
I think you can. Yeah, I mean, you get raw almonds.
Yeah,
probably just pop them out of the shell.
Yeah, I don't know
what almond season.
Almonds September.
Mid to late summer.
Well, here we are. This is mid to late summer. There's plenty of almonds on these trees. That'll be a nice accompaniment to your meals that you've packed.
Yeah. How fortunate.
Yes. During this night, you hear things coming from the swamp. Nothing absolutely discernible as a specific creature or person, but there are weird growls and moans and the occasional, like, shrieking cry of something from the water.
Well, I wake up and gather my things and head towards the bog's edge.
Yeah. You can arrive at the bog's edge. Water here is fairly still.
Am I better able to locate the source of these moans and groans?
Days after the full moon, so it is a bright night. The bog has got some trees and some ground cover here and there, but it's mostly pretty open. Dare you venture into the bog to figure out where this is coming from? Or are you just gonna...
I think I stand here and wait for a few moments and see if I hear anything. Or, like you were talking, moans and groans and screams and cries.
Yeah.
Where do they continue?
They do for a moment, yeah. They do, and then you hear a large sloshing sound. A slow...
How far off are the cries?
Probably within... Because the swamp is pretty open and flat, so sound can travel pretty far, so probably a few hundred yards.
Alright, I'm gonna cast a light spell. Crush up some fireflies and conjure some dancing lights.
Mm-hmm. You summon a firefly before you.
Let's see. What time is all of this happening? How late into the night?
You can see that the moon is near its zenith. So about the middle of the night.
So like 6 hours till dawn?
Something like that. Mm-hmm.
All right, I will go ahead and double the AoE by reducing the duration by half. So I'll have a 6 hour duration light spell.
Mm-hmm.
That is, let's see. I don't know how the doubling works.
If it's
two,
normal...
so I guess it's 2 swarms.
Yeah, you can do
cube.
2 swarms or 1. If the duration is cut in half, the caster has 2 swarms that each shed light in a 10-foot cube. Yeah. So you've got 2 10-foot cubes, essentially, of light.
Okay. I can split them or have one. Okay, so I'll have one buzzing near me, and I'll send one off into the swamp. Actually, for now, I'll send them both just, like, mingling around the swamp.
Yes.
See if I can illuminate the source of this noise. And I stay safely on the shore and scout out with my light. I think it can go as far as I can see it. Yeah, line of sight.
Yes. Well, the fireflies hover out into the swamp, casting a dim illumination across the darkened areas that are untouched by moonlight. They don't reveal the source of the sound, but you do hear it getting closer and closer. And you get the impression that it is beyond a copse of trees and some high reeds and bushes that must be between you and the source of the noise.
Where are the trees? Are they further out into the swamp, or are they up the shore or something?
They are northeast up the shoreline. And then they kind of like run out into the swamp a little bit where they've got tall cattails.
Okay. So I will head northeast up the shore and gesture for the fireflies to follow however many hundreds of yards they are off into the swamp.
Oh. They do follow, and you head over, and once you get inside the copse of trees and your fireflies are moving through the reeds, you see on the other side what appears to be a wounded giant sloshing through the swamp, limping on one bad leg.
Towards me, or like towards the shore, or
it's coming towards the shore? Yeah, it wasn't headed towards you, but you've moved like towards it. So,
I will move to intercept the giant and bring the fireflies towards me, but not to me. If that makes sense. So that they will be at hand, but near to the giant, necessarily giving away my location immediately.
Yes, the giant does have its eyes on the swarm of fireflies as it limps its way towards the shoreline.
Yeah. I direct them to move, to like zip and zap around as if they are a natural creature. Perhaps a bit supernatural, but yeah.
Yeah, the giant does not seem to see you. It's keeping its eyes on the swarm and occasionally looking back over his shoulder. And
what kind of wound does the giant appear to have?
Gash marks,
or something? Yeah.
Rip marks upon his legs. Long claw marks.
And I will move to intercept the giant.
Okay. Perception check. He will not see you, and you will have advantage or surprise on the giant if you wish to do something.
No, I don't think I'm going to murder the giant. I will shout at him from the shadows, the common tongue. Greetings, giant.
He will pause and stop and look around.
I will step into the moonlight, buzzing the fireflies closer towards us, although not immediately adjacent or anything. I have good enough eyes that I can see fairly well in the dark.
Yeah.
What happened to your leg?
The giant regards you for a moment. A puny human, like 1/3 his size, speaking to him as an equal. It's an unusual sight for such a beast. We'll call out to you.
Oh,
go ahead.
I'm holding an ultra spear in my hand, and I call the fireflies to me to like encircle with a wide berth, but I don't know, orbiting me. I don't know, giving off hints that maybe I'm more than I seem. And then I allow him.
What business of it? What business is it of yours? What I do with my time, puny human?
You're limping. You look hurt.
I could hurt you with my club. I could crush you with a rock. Or I can feed you to the troll that mauled me.
Just so happens that I'm looking for a troll.
Then head out into the deep waters. He will find you and rip your head from your shoulders and eat it with both of his.
You fear the trolls? Surely they are puny compared to you.
I stand before you still, do I not? I hurled the troll a half-mile away from me. Surely it has been crushed.
Is this a male giant?
It is. Luckily, he is wearing a very long loincloth.
Well, I won't keep you any longer.
Who are you that speaks to me as an equal?
Clearly, I am beneath you, I say, looking up at him. I am Devon of Necrot.
The sorcerer?
The maker of Cyclops. That you and I have no conflict, so long as you
Quite
leave,
the contrary. You
so
have
long
done
as
me
you
a
leave-
great favor, Devon, the Cyclops maker.
How so? Was not Hilda, something like that. Herschel.
Did we actually name the giant?
We did. Her name... Doesn't matter. Was she not a friend of yours?
No. Not.
Gilda? I think Gilda? Gretchen? No. Wasn't
Gratuitous.
And it doesn't matter.
Why we have a wiki, right?
Maybe.
This is why we don't pay McTacky to do the wiki, but he does it anyway.
Grindel. Gretel?
Grindel. Yes.
I think it was Grindel. Yeah. Was Grindel not a friend of yours? And he says no.
No. She ate my firstborn.
Yikes. You do have a history. Well, you and I have no conflict so long as you leave me and my city in peace.
You are the town near Grindel's cave.
Yeah, maybe a day east of here. I point towards Krob.
The giant regards you, seems to approve of your activities, and then trudges directly on her path, wherever she was heading. His path, yes.
Yeah.
Which I think at this point is pretty much like towards you and past you, but he makes no motion to like walk around you. So he.
Yeah, I stay out his way. So like that away.
More like he's going more like that away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The previous giant was up here, right? Oh, I can't see that. I like drew it, and then it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it was up here more somewhere. Well, actually, it was kind of yeah. It was right.
Well,
it was in this hex that you saw it.
Oh yeah.
And you did.
All right. I'm gonna wait for daylight, I think, to fight a troll. Do trolls have good night vision? Do I have any idea?
Give you a folklore check.
Nice. 31.
I think folklore is the most useful new non-weapon proficiency. It's a nice mechanic just to be like, here's what you know about monsters in your world. Instead of having to do the all like, oh, I don't know what you know about trolls. That's too hard to figure out. And buy it. They do not have infravision.
Interesting.
So they have about as good vision as yours. Actually, trolls are known to have kind of shitty vision in nighttime or daytime.
And I am divine.
Mm-hmm.
Half Fey, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have like 60-foot infravision or something.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe now would be a good time to slosh around the swamp in the direction the giant suggested.
Mm-hmm.
So I will beckon one of the swarms to me and send one scouting ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And I will go sloshing into the swamp in the dark.
Okay. Into the swamp you go. Water's rippling around your ankles. And what is going to be your method of locating this beast?
The giant said if I sloshed around in the swamp, he'd show up.
There we go. Why don't we take a break as you slosh through the swamp, and when we come back on the other side, we will see if you are found by the troll.
Let's do it.
All right, see you guys on the side of a break. Bye-bye.